So next up, I thought it would be an interesting comparison to see someone who we have covered previously, who might even describe a lot of Marvel's projects as peak fire.
Yo, peak fire, bro!
And it would be curious to see his review of Captain America: Brave New World, because he had a controversial tweet regarding the film. So let us see how this goes.
Okay. Soup.
Channel, my name is Matt Soup, and on this channel I aim to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always.
Slow down!
Jesus
Christ!
We're already 10 seconds in.
Oh my goodness, yeah, but I feel like he said 30 minutes of words. All right, jeez, all right.
I think he got the lyrics to that Eminem song wrong, but I like what he was going for.
All right, here we go.
Channel, my name is Matt Soups Ramos, and on this channel I aim to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always, which is superheroes. So guys, today, you guys already see the title of the video, today we are here to talk about Captain America: Brave New World. We are kicking off Marvel 2025, a very exciting year for Marvel, and now we're starting off with Captain America: Brave New World.
It has to be.
It's always
I think what I enjoy is the only reason is really it's Fantastic Four and Daredevil.
Very excited. It's like
it's those two. And the reason why is because it's like, hey, Fantastic Four, this will be better because they've signaled that it will be, even though they've always done this.
They would never lie to us.
The only thing I took away from that Fantastic Four...
Yeah?
Oh, the only thing I took away from this is that they used the same stock footage of children laughing like 3 times. That's all I remember from that teaser. It was really funny.
It was very strange.
Very odd. But, I mean, there was a full trailer. Didn't you see the full trailer? That didn't have any crazy children laughing stock sounds repeated. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
They learned their lesson.
Seen the film. I watched it tonight, and I just got home from the premiere. And so now it's time to talk about it, bro, because I gotta be honest, guys, I'm not feeling great right now.
Oh no. Oh no!
It was supposed to be such an exciting year for Marvel.
Oh my god, it's
anymore.
over. And hopefully, Daredevil, he'll be able to say we're totally back, because currently we're in the over arc.
I'm sure he will no matter what. I'm sure he will no matter what.
You just feel sad when
as long as episode 1 has a one-take action scene, it'll be peak fire.
But it's currently a valley.
That's right.
This guy basically likes everything Marvel, right?
Yeah, typically.
So this is like the first example of him being like, yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
Oh,
maybe not that.
I mean, I don't know that, but it's that he's generally in favor of like.
What did we cover him on last time? I forget.
Wasn't he like really hyped for Echo? Like he was really excited for Echo.
Wasn't it? We covered like videos back to back where he was like Marvel's in trouble, and then he watched the trailer and he was like, Marvel is so back.
It's so
back. I can tell by the trailer. This trailer is not totally not a commercial meant to elicit excitement from me.
This is what we would refer to as like the ultimate. Like all of his Twitter comes across as promotional marketing sort of thing, and he's like hyped for everything. It's the kind of
it's embarrassing when like it's not your shit and it's a multi-million-dollar corporation. It's just kind of embarrassing.
Well, and that's why it's always I find it notable whenever if he's like, man, like this was not peak fire, bro. And you're like, oh my god.
How much? I suppose what makes it interesting is that I imagine it's the case for him that there's much more of the in retrospect things weren't good, but at the time that the feeling was more positive. So, I imagine that he would be in line with it. Phase 4 and 5, there have been some misses, even though, you wouldn't think that if you just based it on what all of the initial reactions were to every single film and show that came out. That'd be my guess. I don't actually, I'm assuming, all right?
I'm not feeling great. And before I talk about this movie, I really want to thank the filmmakers and the people who put in the work for years to bring this movie to life.
Name one of them.
Well, maybe he's talking about like
Anthony
all
Mackie.
the cameramen and all of the VFX artists and the people who do the makeup and costumes. They do good work for the most part. They work hard.
Harrison Ford.
A film like this was...
I mean, I can't help but remember the behind-the-scenes shit for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they realized they designed the costume for the new Captain America in a way that was physically impossible to work. So they had to do multiple CG shots every time his head was on the screen because the neck was not designed to be a neck. Like it was, they wanted it to stay flush to him, but obviously like fabrics crease. And so in the behind the scenes stuff, they're like, yeah, there's no material in the world that can do this. So we green screened it. It's like, yeah, but could you not have just, made a better costume? No. We'll just CGI everything that goes wrong.
Crazy.
From inception to now, it's been probably a 4-year process, and there's a lot of people that dedicated, a lot of late nights, early mornings to help bring this to life. And so I want to really congratulate them on just making a movie, because that in itself is an accomplishment, and especially.
Sure, kind
everybody
of.
knows this. Nobody disagrees with this. There is nobody who disagrees with this. Why do they need to say this?
It's such a strange.
Maybe
attitude.
he's front loading a little bit of. He's front loading a kindness.
Oh yeah, he's trying. He's not. He don't want to burn the bridges. There's no way that's going to be happening. It's just funny though. It's like, yeah, making movies are hard. It's like, yeah, it is. Everybody knows this. Yet some people manage to make good films despite it being really hard to do so. Some people do it consistently.
What?
They somehow manage to make good films on the regular. I don't know. It's just like, why do people say this? Everybody knows making films is hard.
I think it's if you're mostly positive on everything, you just kind of if that's like your channel brand, I guess, just like, okay, I need to start with something positive, because if I just start shitting on things, they're probably not gonna watch my video, or people are gonna be upset. So it's like, hey, I know everything, you're working really hard, but man, I don't feel so good right now. It's like it's fine. Things are shit. I work hard on things too, and they can be shit. That's fine.
I'd say it goes both ways for the culturally speaking. I imagine he's thinking I should probably say this because, there's the angle that he wants to maintain good connections, but there's also the I don't want people to think I'm just shitting all over it. I don't want to encourage people to shill over it when it's something that people... And then it's like, how necessary is it to mention it's a thing that people worked hard on? Because we all know that as people. It's like, but should people be reminded because everyone can go nuts over stuff like this? It's like, I don't know, just feels really odd. But if he does it for everything, then fair enough. I can. It's like, it's not something it would depend if we knew like a more nefarious motivation. But as it stands, it's like, it's whatever. I guess it's true. There's gonna be a shit ton of people that did probably work really hard on this thing. Pity about the script writer, but hey, what can you do?
Especially a movie of this scale. Now, with that being said, I also have to be honest, and in my opinion, this is a massive, massive disappointment for Marvel.
See, that's kind of the issue there. It shouldn't be juxtaposed that people worked hard, but it's bad. It should just be like, well, no, it's okay to like like that. It's almost like he's saying, to compensate for the fact that I'm about to say your thing is bad, I just want you to know that I recognize you worked hard. But it's like, well, yeah, but that we all knew that was true too. It's sometimes they don't have anything to do with each other, right? You can have people who lazily create something.
Oh yeah, it's not a one-to-one. Yeah, like hard work isn't a one-to-one conversion into quality or success. I wish that's the way the world works, but it just isn't.
I'd be interested to know why he thought that it was going to be good, because he says it's a disappointment, suggesting that he was hyped for it.
He tends to be pretty hyped for any given new project, I think, in the MCU. You can tell this hit him in the soul, which means it's like, man, this must have been like surprisingly, there must have been something about it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sam Wilson as a character. I love him as Captain America, and I just truly feel like he deserved better. To put it plainly, guys, this really felt like a Hulk movie with so many Hulk characters, Hulk themes, things from previous Hulk films. But this is a Sam Wilson film.
Yeah, it's funny how you
Captain
watch
America film, but
the thing is that oh, sorry, man.
It's just funny how you watch the movie. We already said that. It's like, oh, they're mentioning all these characters from the Incredible Hulk from 20 years ago. I guess I should have rewatched that one for context.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like he's not wrong. This is
no.
Is true. It is odd. I do hope that the criticism isn't mainly this.
Yes.
Of course, he's got more to say, but I hope it isn't mainly like, well, I'm disappointed because I thought it was going to be a Captain America film, but it was more like a Hulk movie, and it, really needed to be a Captain America movie. I hope it's not like that kind of argument.
I really don't understand what their thinking was, because if you see, it's like, oh, there's finally a new Captain America movie. I'm excited for that. Blah blah blah. Whatever it is, it's like, okay, let me rewatch all the things that might be, good for context. So I'm obviously going to watch the Captain America movies. I'm like, all right. guess I should also watch Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's when he properly takes the shield. And that's it, right? That's enough to rewatch. And you start watching the movie and you start talking about all the Incredible Hulk things from 20 years ago. It's like, oh, I guess I should have rewatched that as well, because there's a bunch of context in there that I need.
This came up, I think, when we broke it down, because even Disney Plus didn't anticipate this, because they didn't bundle the Hulk film into the must-watch movies for this movie. Like, this
Yeah,
wasn't there,
that's
so
funny.
It was just a surprise. But to the point of there's not being the main criticism. It would always have been a weird decision, but just because it's not like ostensibly focusing on the character you thought it was, isn't going to make it a bad film. You could do a Hulk reprisal well. It's still a strange creative choice, but it's not automatically the reason to be disappointed by it. The reason to be disappointed by it is that it's shit.
Yeah, it would kind of be like saying that, oh, I was disappointed by Civil War because it focuses so much on Iron Man, who, what is Iron Man doing in my Captain America movie? What, people criticized it for that?
That was, like, a lot of people did say that they didn't like Civil War as much because it wasn't a Cap film, it was an Avengers film.
Even though it is absolutely a Cap film.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say
that's
about
really
that.
dumb. I didn't know that.
The central conflict stems from characters in prior Captain America movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bucky is the catalyst for a lot of the conflict.
Well, and I mean,
And
look how
it's
the
a
film
conflict
ends,
that
right?
should involve the Avengers.
And of course, fundamentally, the film is dealing with, aside from its broader world-related sort of questions, it is dealing fundamentally with the role that Cap needs to play, in the present state of the universe.
Well, and it's why I would rate the Captain America trilogy in the MCU as probably the best and strongest, is that the end of the story takes you all the way from the beginning, obviously joining up for the World War and then fighting the bad guys with the institution behind him of Proto-Shield and America and all the different things you can think of. And he ends with he's constructed his own team that he is the leader of, that he believes in the individuals of, and encourages them all to make the choices themselves. That's like the crystallization of what, the values he had at the beginning all the way into what he will eventually... And to be fair, I think that deserved his own movie as well. The Rogue Avengers, the Renegade Avengers.
I mean, we needed that. We needed a blip era film as well. There was fucking none. Isn't that crazy? It's just 5 years just getting skipped.
They mentioned it sometimes.
Whatever.
They mentioned that half the universe just disappeared and reappeared every once in a while as an event. They remember that happened.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like this should have been a Hulk movie, but yeah, they somehow just shoehorn in Sam Wilson as the lead for some reason, and it just does not work. There's a lot of things in this film that call back to the Incredible Hulk from 2008. I think that is a necessary rewatch before you go watch this movie, because they actually call back to a lot more stuff from that film than...
Yeah, to the extent that people would just be like, who the fuck is... Well, the thing is, if you don't know anything about Samuel Stearns, I don't think that movie helps in terms of, really.
Not really, no.
It's like, yeah, sure, it tells you where that guy came from, but does that really make the story more meaningful or make more sense? Because let's pretend the 2008 film doesn't exist. Is Captain Falcon made, insanely nonsensical, comparatively? It's like, not really.
No.
Not much more than it already is, no.
Yeah.
Because you have the line when he's introduced, when he says, an infusion of gamma warped the structure of my brain. I guess the only difference is that rather than that just being exposition, it's a reference.
Yeah.
But the premise is still kind of a bit fucked.
You think. Honestly, man, I'm just feeling very empty. This feels like a very nothing movie. It feels like one of those films where after you're done watching it, you're never going to watch this again. Or...
True.
Yeah, like all the other ones. All the other Marvel movies.
He's describing a Marvel movie.
Yeah, that is true.
Come and go. I'm going to tell you guys right now, in 3 weeks, no one's ever going to talk about this movie ever again.
If they do, they'll be talking about how no one talks about it.
I wonder about... This is because this guy is seen as somewhat peak shill, and you just be like, how do you have these moments of... don't you think...
Moments of clarity.
Yeah, it's like... Don't you think this should expand a little further? Do you ever think that maybe that applies to a lot of the ones you found to be amazing? Or
exactly. How many, I wonder how many times he's... Dude, it's crazy. I feel like everybody in the world forgot about Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that... I never think about that movie, ever. I never think about it.
I don't believe that Black Panther 3 will think about it. It's just not going to happen.
No, probably not. Thor Love and Thunder? How often does anybody think of that one?
Only to
referenced
hate
how
it.
bad it was.
Yeah.
That one
I don't know, man.
completely
I'm starting.
fucked the jokes in every conceivable way. Yeah, that's what we remember from that movie.
I'm starting to think that movie didn't actually happen.
Maybe.
I like the Marvels more than this. I like Black.
Ooh.
Yeah, really.
Damn.
I disagree. I like this more than the Marvels.
Yeah.
I do.
Actually, I don't know. The Marvels was just like weirder and worse and more terrible,
was
which kind of made
shorter.
it more watchable in a weird
It was
way.
shorter, but I think I like this movie more than that one.
This one was definitely more entertaining because the Marvels felt like it was trying very hard to entertain me, whereas this just felt like, where this one, you can laugh at it because it's bad. The Marvels is just pain.
I don't know. I laughed a lot at the Marvels because it was bad. There's a fucking musical segment in it. I mean, my God.
Oh, I didn't laugh at that. I did not laugh at that at all. That was horrible. I did not enjoy that one.
I'll say, got a big laugh that the villain is like, I have won, kills herself. That shit is funny. So, and she was already completing her plan without getting the second bangle.
Dude, they put that in the trailer. They put the villain exploding in the trailer. Isn't that crazy?
Maybe they thought that it was supposed to signify. No, they just didn't want you to worry. Don't worry, everything will work out fine. Captain Marvel will be okay.
Thank goodness.
The inexplicable Monica Rambeau thing that she goes through the time, like the universe portal at the end. She's like, I fix it now. Come back. No. And then she's gone. Yeah. Because apparently she decides she has to fix it from the other side, which just never came up before. I always knew I'd have to leave. Did you?
Did you?
Like, I never got that impression from anything you said.
How did you figure that out? Because nobody else has figured. What are you even talking about? Stupid woman, just come back. She had to go meet Beast.
Yeah, it also turns Carol into even worse of a character than she already was, which was quite impressive, because now she's responsible for like 3 genocides.
Well, and she could have saved Monica at the end, but she chose to just not be fast enough. She's
yeah.
Oh, jeez, I can't. Oh, no.
Oh, I can't get you. Oh, my God.
She's not that fast.
She, like, flies right up to the seam, and she's like, there's a force field. I can't get in. Damn it.
Yeah. I just find it funny that the Marvels is one that's like, yeah, we're allowed to hate on this one. That's like accepted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't help but view a lot of it cynically. It's like, which ones will you point to as the bad ones? Oh, the ones that have been singled out as being the bad ones. But like, how often am I going to be surprised where you're like, man, Multiverse of Madness is shit. And it's like, ooh, that's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than this, I like Black Widow more than this. I like.
Oh no! Wait,
there was just so much lack of sauce here, and
there was a lack of sauce. It needed.
Sauce. What's going on with that?
If only
hand?
we had Cook Unity.
I think you just got big
deliver
hands.
to us the sauce, either brown sauce or mystery sauce.
Sorry.
In order to really spice up this movie, then I guess we just didn't have it.
It took me off guard. What?
I was not ready for that.
Another massive criticism I have is that when it comes to the Captain America movies,
are we just gonna gloss over? No, stop! I don't.
You have a fucking voice. Use it if you want to.
Why is it?
Suddenly you can't fucking grab the words, huh?
We just said that.
Metal, are you wondering why his hand is big?
Yeah, for a second I thought it was a B, but it's not, I guess.
How big his hand is? Holy shit!
Damn.
Thank you!
No, that is a... Well, he has the... That is a huge hand.
That is a Chongo hand. Is there something that we're missing here?
Are you a Hulk? Are you going to turn into a Hulk?
I wasn't ready for this.
Who's the...
It's like...
Free, let me help you out. Who's the big hand man in Simpsons who has to write down his whole... He says, I'm tired of people making fun of my giant hand. Remember that guy?
No, I don't actually.
It's the joke is like, I think Homer's written a note on his hand and he's sweating. And he's like, oh shit, like, and I couldn't write the whole note on it, and then it cuts to some other guy with a huge hand who's written a whole essay on his hand. How do you not remember this? It's a wonderful joke.
I don't actually remember this. Damn.
Well, yeah, he's got a big hand.
This has to be this has to be because it's like he's holding his arm such that the bottom, like, it has to be a perspective
his thumb's
thing.
under his chin, and his thumb is still like the width of his mouth.
Yeah, his thumb is huge.
We need to see this in motion. Hold on. I did not realize.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know if there are physical disabilities that make you have big hands, but
it probably
his hand looks like he's been stung by a bee.
It's
gigantism
is a thing or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's just okay.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a POV thing, but I guess
he's got a big hand, man.
Got a big hand.
Yeah.
All the better.
I just wasn't
Smash.
ready for this. I wasn't ready. Okay.
Okay.
So
You're just jealous. You don't have big hands.
That's true.
Yeah.
So much lack of sauce here, and you know, another massive criticism I have is that when it comes to the Captain America movies in the MCU, these are some of the most hopeful, uplifting, inspiring films. This film lacked heart. This film lacked heart for me.
Like I would love to know from genuinely, what's the last film
point.
in the MCU that was like uplifting and inspiring?
No Way Home.
Yeah.
From him, I'm assuming he would pick.
Oh, okay.
Guardians 3, probably.
I think so. Parts of it were inspiring. That's the thing. Like the problem with that movie is the great dearth of the the Oasis versus the desert. So, yeah, I could see it'd be a fair answer. I can see why people would say that. But I would like to hear his perspective. What does he consider it? I know mine is. But...
It very, very, very much tries to, I guess, bring to life that Winter Soldier political thriller drama. However, it just doesn't work here. Again,
that's a solid enough take. We did kind of feel the same way. They were definitely trying to ape Winter Soldier left, right, center, and Civil War. Yeah.
It feels very empty. I'll read you guys exactly what I wrote on Twitter. I said, I hate to say this, but Captain America Brave New World was a big disappointment. It feels very empty and lacks the heart of a Captain America movie. The action is edited to death with thousands of cuts. Guys, we see Sam Wilson throw a punch or a kick, and you see like 5 cuts before the punch or kick actually lands. The dialogue is very cheesy, weird-looking green screens. Man, when this movie
undercooked villains.
Well, wait a second.
I enjoyed the use of the word "cooked" there.
Yeah, but
it's funny.
Because of Cooked Unity. Before. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
That's the connection that I was drawing there. Yeah.
But I have it on good authority that this film's editing is actually seamless. So, not a peak fire observation there.
Also, it's just funny to think
Twitter, bro.
Broadly in retrospect, right? It's like the villains who we're looking at here is like, well, Sidewinder. It's like, what the fuck was that? Like Samuel Stearns, I guess his role the whole film was to just piss off Harrison Ford enough that he turns into Red Hulk, who is, I guess, the third, not really villain, more antagonistic force at the end. What a mess, you know? Like there's just so little focus. Compare, of course, with Captain America 1. It's basically just super soldier Hitler man. Captain America 2, an organization that's corrupted the shit out of one that's supposed to be for good, that becomes for evil, and is personified in his friend who's got this like corruption in him that he has to solve. And then 3, the repercussions of an uncontrolled and unaccountable force that claims it's for good but truly just does whatever it wants. And reflected in, I'd say, Steve's choice to not tell Tony the truth. He, as he admits at the end, he did it more so for himself. There's like, I just, the whole like lacks heart, lacks blah blah blah. It's just like, yeah, the villain's impact on each of these films is actually so much more important than the MCU almost ever realized. I would argue it was always a problem they had. The villains weren't fantastic. Phase 1, I think that was one of the main criticisms. Yeah, because it was the meme of it's always them but evil and like bigger usually.
Well, yeah, because it was kind of even Iron Man, right? It's like, yep, fights a guy in an Iron Man suit, a second time around.
That was part of why Thanos in Infinity War was such a surprise, because I don't think anyone was expecting that from large purple CG man that we haven't really seen before, and he's got to carry that movie. And I mean, is it controversial to say that he's definitely one of the best villains in the MCU?
He's one of the best.
He's often considered that. It's just you have to clarify, not the Endgame version.
Sure.
The Endgame version is a goober, but he's one of the really good ones alongside.
The thing people point out that I can't resist saying is true as well. He's a quote machine in Infinity War.
Yeah, he is.
He's just throwing them out, and you're like, man, that was a good quote, and that one, and that one, and that one. Damn. But yeah, it would be him, Zemo, Vulture,
Vulture, and Loki.
Those would be my top
Loki,
three.
yeah.
And yeah, Loki. Remember, there was
Loki
a time.
at his
there was
best.
a time.
Loki
at his
at his
best.
best in Avengers. Yeah.
Loki is
Who's next up after
but
that?
at his low. Loki's lows are subterranean.
Who would be next?
Because
Are we including? Because I mean, I would say like Nebula potentially,
What
but
a-
she's not
well,
like a main
I mean,
villain.
if we're
well,
we're
do we get
including-
to count No Way Home's villains?
Well, because then Green Goblin and
Green Goblin
Yeah,
is
it's
fucking
not-
great.
that's really
So
high.
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
if
if
we're,
it's fair to bring him in or not.
I mean, if Daredevil now counts as being part of the MCU, then Kingpin is very high up.
well, that's fair. It's just like a matter of it gets complicated.
But
We have to include
it's a TV show versus
Yeah.
a movie, right? Like, he just gets a hell of a lot more time. In terms of other movies, because I know
The High
what you mean, Rag, with
Evolutionary is
Green
getting
Goblin.
some love in chat for the. He's from Guardians 3, right? Which I always thought he
Yes.
was
Or
like he
the
was more
third act.
interesting in
Love the actor.
potential than interesting in actual delivery.
The first two acts he was
Yeah,
quite good. I
by
really
the
liked
end.
him. The third act
By
he
the end.
absolutely
Well,
fell
and-
apart.
and just the actor like gives it everything. He's fucking into that
Yeah.
role. It was cool.
He was really good.
Guardians is interesting because Ronan is super like he's the best done you're gonna get for that character.
Mega generic
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
warrior angry guy.
He
but
absolutely
wasn't
nailed
bad.
that
really
archetype.
well.
It's like, well, that's
Yeah.
that, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
like,
I think it kind of works in Guardians as well because you're contrasting him with the zany weirdness of the Guardians themselves.
and then
So I think it is
I'd
maybe
say-
more appropriate in that film.
He plays,
Mysterio was,
He plays Thranduil as
does.
well. Lee Pace.
He does.
Yeah. So he's we're seeing a pop up point.
Mysterio was he was quite good. IMO.
yeah. Well, I loved
I liked
a
Mysterio.
lot of the portions
Yeah.
of how they implemented him. But staying on Guardians, I just I wanted to compare with Ego. Then it's like he's I mean, Kurt Russell's just awesome. Sorry, Mel Gibson is awesome.
Mel Gibson.
But like Ego himself, like his ultimate motivation is kind of like okay, you know what I mean? Like it's like yeah, that's fine.
It's a little bit like
And I wonder if that's kind of the problem for all the Guardians villains. The motivation ultimately is just not that interesting. You're like, yeah, sure, I get it, I guess.
I'm trying to think if there's like an obvious choice that's been omitted just because there's so many movies. Like Ella was fun, but like not very interesting.
Yeah.
He was just
It
super
was
evil,
similar to
yeah.
Ronan, I would say. She's just a one-note villain that contrasts with the rest of the movie.
It's just that she was pretty funny. She had a
Like
lot
Kate
of.
Blanchett was
I
fun.
remember being profoundly disappointed with how infrequently the audience in my cinema laughed at all of her jokes. It made me angry. I was like, you fucking you Philistines! How can you not tell that this is great delivery? Like, god damn it! It's funny. I saw someone in chat say Ultron. Ultron is a goober. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Well, for the
he's
record, I
portrayed
wish
really well. The voice is awesome.
I wish I
You know,
could fucking
James
love
Spader.
Ultron. That is like an easy to appeal to me villain, but man, did they fuck that up.
Yeah, his introduction
they
is solid, but the more time you
It's
spend
really
with him,
good.
Dude,
it
that
just-
scene is
yeah.
so fucking awesome.
He's just a clown. He's a clown goober guy who wants to just like, oh yeah, extinction, yeah, meteorite, dinosaurs. Ooh, it's like it's just silly.
Being constructed of like leftover reconstructed pieces of Iron Man, bleeding oil, and being like created for a particular purpose, but seeing the inversion of it, and then just dressing all of the Avengers down and threatening them. God, because it pops up in the trailer, right? It's such a like, oh shit, are we veering into like horror here? This looks so fucking cool. And then he's a clown. They clowned him. Why'd you do that? It's so mean. Nightmare.
As someone's pointed out, Murdoch.
Yes, of course, Bodok.
He is,
Honorable mention.
he is actually a good character, unwittingly.
Yeah, he is.
against the writer's best efforts.
One of
Yes.
the lines from Ant-Man 1, like some of his best villain
I'll
lines.
disintegrate you.
I am going to kill everyone
Your
you love.
whole existence is insulting to me.
Oh, it's like the worst villain lines in the entire MCU.
They redeemed him. They turned
Redeemed,
Yellow
yes.
Jacket into Murdoch.
Who's the Ant-Man and the
He's-
Wasp bad guy?
Ghost.
Ghost?
Jesus.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, we'll be seeing her again in Thunderbolts.
Oh, I'm so
Goose.
not looking forward to have to go and rewatch all of the
I
shit
know,
that leads into
yeah.
Thunderbolts. Like,
I
why was this
know,
person
I
fun
know.
again? Oh god, it's
I
Black
know.
Widow.
Who are the Thunderbolts?
The Thunderbolts are Yelena and Winter Soldier. Oh, sorry, White Wolf now. Even though they didn't change his name in the title for Winter Soldier, which was a bit awkward. Red Guardian, right? That's David Harbour's guy. Captain America, Taskmaster, and Ghost. I think that's the team.
Jesus Christ.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
You got a lot of things to watch to get ready for that.
Fuck me.
Oh man.
And, like, the unifying theme is that all of the things they come from led nowhere, and everyone forgot about them, and that's why they get their own movie. It's fantastic.
Every time I boot up my VPN and I go to certain websites, it's like, hey, you're gonna download a really great, fun, amazing, great movie to watch, right? It's like, no, I'm not.
It's also what in
Like,
chat
oh,
say, by the
okay.
way, it's like, have you guys forgotten Malekith from Thor 2? It's like, yes.
Yes.
Who? Yes.
Everyone
Who is a
forgets
good-
Malekith
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Thor 2. Which is a shame, by the way, because Christopher Eccleston's a fucking excellent actor.
It's funny, if I
but oh
type
well.
in Malekith, I just get the Elden Ring boss.
What about
Yeah, because his name
Google.
isn't Malekith, idiot. Malekith.
What about What about Malekith's? He had like a big
Malekith.
lieutenant guy who was a strong man who gets like vaporized or
Oh
something,
yeah,
right?
that's right. I can't remember his name though.
Oh, yeah.
Steven.
He's
Big
the mini
man.
boss.
He gets,
Yeah,
he gets a
mini-boss.
black hole grenade.
No,
Yeah.
that was the second one. No, yeah, Malekith is the
Yeah,
second
that
one.
was-
What am I talking about?
yeah.
Yeah,
There
his
was
name
a
was
mini-boss with
his
him.
name was
There
Curse with a
that
K.
Oh, curse with a K.
Straight
you
out,
know,
out
like-
of the nightmare.
Obadiah, he has some iconic lines.
He was great until the
Tony
third act.
Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Iconic. But the third act, he just loses his mind. It's like, I'm evil.
Oh, he goes
You
so
think about
fucking
Iron Man
crazy.
as well,
It's so
you have-
annoying.
Sam Rockwell. It's like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, I don't know. It feels like they could have done more with good old Hammer.
Good God, Whiplash sucked.
Whiplash was lame.
Whiplash sucks so much that he like swore off working with Marvel ever again, I think, right, from it. Because they
Oh,
ruined the character.
That was a cool action scene though with Iron Man and War Machine. I can't believe he's been in it since the fucking beginning. Like,
Yeah.
They haven't done anything with War Machine. That's unbelievable.
And then they say, actually, starting Civil War, he was a Skrull. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on anyway. Like,
Yeah, we gotta get screen time to Gaia. We gotta set up Gaia, guys.
Like, if they invite him to set at any point, you'll be like, who even am I? Like, what's happening? What do I know?
Monica Rambeau is talking.
Oh.
Am I playing my Skrull version or the actual
Oh,
version?
dude, Jude
get
Law
out of
was
here,
in.
security.
Jude Law was in a Marvel movie. He was in Captain Marvel.
Yes,
Jude
he
Law.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Law.
Yoran Rog or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yon Rog, that's it. And they didn't bring him back for the second one, nor did they bring back the Dawn, and then that one failed.
Interesting. Interesting.
Didn't bring the men back, who were clearly carrying it.
Interesting.
We all knew it was
Something
over
to
when the Dawn
ponder.
wasn't cast. It was an obvious fucking mistake.
Absolutely.
He should be in
God, I can't
Thunderbolts.
believe it. He should
Hell
be
yeah.
with John Walker and the Dawn.
He would
the dynamic
bless
duo.
Sentry and convince him to stop. He'd be like, "There's no need, my child. No need for this anger."
Oh, you're right. Things have been rough lately, and I'm taking it out on other people,
Do you
but I
like how-
shouldn't, and I've been bottling it up.
That's the joke. But when they did the what if for if T'Challa was Star-Lord, he actually talked down Thanos.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah, they sucked his cock so much in that episode.
How about you
Jesus Christ.
don't kill half of the universe? Like, all right.
Whoa!
That's a crazy idea. I love that.
Man.
I'm going to do that now.
Twitter, bro, you're gonna see screen grabs just absolutely obliterating this film.
Yes, we did lots of them. It's
It was fun.
There was
I
one
can't wait
someone
to see
posted
more.
to show just how bad the green screen were. I don't know if any of you saw this, but someone pointed out, I was like, why is Falcon bald? There was like this one picture someone posted where he was just bald for some reason. It's like, wait, is his hair CG? Like,
Listen, he flew so fast that it just
He
came
flew
right
too
off,
close to the sun.
Yeah, and cinched it right off.
Singed his hair off. No.
Undercooked villains.
Oh my god, Mordo. He was
Yeah,
a bad
Mordo.
guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who?
Mads Mikkelsen was in Doctor Strange.
Oh,
right.
Mordo.
What a
Ooh,
waste.
we should
Wait,
do
that-
like
a
we
waste.
should do a ranking of the most wasted actors in the MCU
I
because
mean, he's close to number
he's
one.
going to be
Oh,
close
yeah.
to number one. Yeah, I'm not kidding
He
about
is
it.
very
Christopher
close.
Eccleston as Malekith is a huge fuck. All he does is like announce things, right? He's just like, "We will defeat the blah blah." It's like, ugh.
I
Oh,
was
wait,
going to say,
no.
Mads
Wait,
Mikkelsen
sorry,
played
I mixed him up.
Caecilius.
Wait, yeah, sorry, I mixed him up. Mordo
No,
was
Mordo is
Twilight
the
Before.
multiverse
Oh, I thought
of
you were
Madness
saying in
and,
addition because obviously he's a Doctor
earlier
Strange
guy.
guy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I actually mixed them up. Yes, both of them are near number one for most.
Well, yeah.
That's right, because they
Wondered.
set up Mordo for some really
'Cause-
cool stuff, and they just didn't have him come back ever.
Oh, this
Is
is
he
interesting
even
because
in Doctor Strange too?
yeah, it's a
Chiwetel-
different alternate universe version.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, right.
Chiwetel Ejiofor was supposed to be the prologue bad guy of MOM, and it was supposed to be Scarlet Witch hunts him down, or he's hunting her down because you can't have magical people doing whatever they want, and she cut his head off. Like that was going
But
to
then
be
that was
Oh.
cut out.
Yeah.
that was cut.
that. Well, so but that it's probably going to change. But that was like the fate of Mordo in our universe, and then we see the alternate Mordo.
Man,
Isn't
would've
that fucking
sucked.
nuts? And the thing is, it's
That
like.
would've sucked.
We're gonna let him be the villain of a Doctor Strange movie. He's like, oh yes, finally, give him something to do because he's not like completely wasted in Doctor Strange 1. He's all right, but you know, you kind
He's
of wait.
probably the most interesting character, I
they're
thought.
setting him
from
up
memory.
Well-
for something. He's getting set up for
So,
stuff. Yeah.
My problem with him in the film was like his issues. It doesn't make any sense to me that he's like, how could you, Doctor Strange? How could you use magic that is forbidden to literally prevent the universe from being destroyed? It's like, well, what? Like,
Yeah, I guess so.
you know, like it's like it's too much of an elephant in the room for me. It's like, no, come on, like the whole what would be the anyway. So you know there's that, but then yeah, someone mentioned as well. Fuck, I lost it. There's so many people I've completely forgot were in this fucking franchise. Ben
Doesn't
Kingsley, for
Doesn't
Christ's
Love
sake.
and Thunder have
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale, yeah.
Christian-
it also has
well-
Russell Crowe, and it also has. Is Matt Damon in it as the actor again? Because he's in that
Yes.
in Ragnarok. So
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty
there's
sure
quite
he
a
had a
lot
little
of
cameo.
rather large, big name people in Love and Thunder who
Lawrence Fishburne.
really deserved a much better movie.
We really could make this ranking
He
system.
was Goliath.
Because I was going to say about Christian Bale, he gets to do some acting. The script is
He
shit,
does.
but he does get to do some acting.
Yeah.
I would really it would have been really cool if his character wasn't like instantly contradictory and retarded, because it's a cool actor, neat concept.
Oh yeah, Sam Neill is
Oh,
in.
wow.
Is he's got a cameo as well
Oh yeah.
Where? In which one?
in Thor
In-
3 and 4. It's the little play they do. He plays Odin in it.
Oh, okay. I'd have to see it again.
He's,
I just can't remember.
I
off the
think
top of my
he's
head.
friends with Taika Waititi. That's why it's like a fun cameo. To be
Oh,
fair,
okay.
you're forgetting Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What a waste. Yeah, Russell Crowe's a good one as well. I don't actually know which one I would pick for number one. I think it really could be Mads Mikkelsen because he only gets one scene to speak, really. And it's not great.
Yeah, in terms of like the caliber of the actor versus what they are allowed to do, I think it's got to be Mads Mikkelsen, because you've got other actors like Jeff Bridges, but he is actually allowed to do things in Iron Man.
Yeah, I like him in Iron Man.
Mads
I think he's
Mikkelsen
good.
does
he's
nothing.
used. Yeah, he's used.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, I forgot about that. It's a Christmas special.
Huh.
Christ, it's like every actor has been in the MCU.
Yeah, when it comes to Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, it didn't feel like he was playing Thunderbolt Ross. William
Yes.
Hurt, who played Thunderbolt Ross in the previous MCU films, was so great in that role.
Man,
Oh my
good
God,
take.
he's-
Yeah, good take.
Yeah, this guy's having good takes.
He's delivering
Yeah.
some good perspective today.
As the kids say, he's spitting facts.
He's peak
He
fire,
is.
bro.
Straight.
Yeah, I mean, he's warming up.
Fire, yeah.
Nice.
But when it comes to Harrison Ford, like
He's cooking. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm. He's cooking. He's
Obviously,
cooking
Harrison
that brown.
Ford-
the mystery.
he's got a mystery cooking.
is great, but it just kind of feels like he's just playing Harrison Ford instead of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
I
who we-
really don't get how this isn't the takeaway everyone has. It's so weird to see people
Yeah.
say like you did such an exceptional job. It's like, what do you mean? He was just Harrison
Yeah.
Ford. He turned up and he did Harrison Ford. Like, that's what he
When
does.
was the last time he played anybody that wasn't Harrison Ford? He's just kind of that is just what he does
He played
Hmm.
Indiana Jones
Hmm.
as Harrison
as
Ford.
Did he?
kind of
As
as Harrison Ford a little bit.
We already
I
know
like him
Ruff.
in 2049, but he is kind of playing a variation of Harrison Ford there.
I liked him in Morning Glory, but he was just playing a variation of Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that script was purpose built for a grumpy old man, though. So you get that.
But
At least.
I love that line. She was sleeping until I poked her with my African rain stick.
I've been needing to rewatch that because I remember finding it very funny. Morning Glory.
I really did enjoy it.
The leader is also pretty bad, bro.
Yes.
It's different. It's different.
Well, this is the shot from the 2008 movie.
That's from Hulk.
Yeah,
it's from the
it
Hulk
looks like
movie.
he's transforming into.
That's
He is.
right.
You know.
It's the gamma getting in his brain.
And he has like a little smile right after, and then he's out of the movie.
Because it's giving him
and
big
then
brain.
He's gone
He's like,
until now.
I got him smart now. Feels
It's like,
great.
yeah, big.
Finally,
It's
I can pass
big
my
brain
tests.
Put
that
visually,
IKEA
the
together.
leader looks terrible. He has a terrible design, but he also is an undercooked villain and does a lot of things in this movie that just makes zero sense. Giancarlo Esposito.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
seamless, you bitch.
There's so much you could explore with that guy because he was very adamant about like, yo, with your
Adamantium?
No.
Adamantium, yeah.
It's
You can't say
with
words
all these
like that. It's a brave new world.
If we can master it, we can heal so many people and get cures and everything. And I'm just like, did he do this as well in the 15, 20 years? Or did he just like kind of do stuff for Ross the whole time? Like there's a lot of things you can like explore and see what he does.
Yeah, because that seemed like he made Ross president. That was his whole
that's it.
behind the scenes. But then the only kind of line you get from Ford's perspective, from Ross's perspective, is that he says, "Oh yeah, when it's the moustache quib, right?" He says, "Yeah, they told me lose the moustache or lose the election." It took a man with like the IQ of 500 and the ability to predict the future to say, "Yeah, your moustache looks like shit. You should shave it and win."
Mm-hmm.
That's such bullshit. That's only because Ford didn't want to have a mustache, right? That's gotta be it. Like, I fuck that. I don't regret. Because
Write a line into the movie about how I had to shave to win the election.
have you seen? There's a couple of interviews I've seen, like just asking Harrison Ford about the movie. He refers to like, I'm playing the president of the United States. Like that's how he refers to the role. I just find that amusing because it's like that's probably the best way to describe it as like a respectable role in a film that's not cringe slop. Like I have been hired to play the president of these United States, as opposed to I'm Thunderbolt Ross. I'll be turning into the Red Hulk. Like what?
Esposito. This is a tragedy, bro. This dude was supposed to be. He was in Professor X, Norman Osborn talks. And when you guys see like what they do with Giancarlo Esposito in this movie, you're just like, oh my god, this is just such a throwaway character, bro. We needed more from him.
Correct.
Yeah,
Don't
speaking
expect
of
a lot of-
actors, who are just incredible, who are massively wasted.
he's really
Yeah.
running.
Oh shit! Yeah,
right.
he might be number one
yeah,
for all
you're
we
right.
know. Oh
Ooh,
shit!
wow. Yeah.
Hey Gus, can you be Gus for like 30 minutes?
That's
Thanks.
the thing. They don't even let
30
him be
minutes.
Gus.
That's true, yeah. Okay.
It's almost like you want to sit them down and be like, you need to rewatch Breaking Bad and find out that he doesn't just stand around and then shoot guns and then walk away. Like that's not his thing. What the fuck are you doing?
Man.
Red Hulk.
Yeah, he
either.
swings a dark saber.
3 seasons. They defeat him 3
3
times.
seasons.
What the fuck?
I just
And he'll
thought-
probably
Yeah, that's
still
how
show
good
up
of a
in the
villain he
movie
is.
anyway. He'll probably still be in the movie.
Did you guys ever see that meme picture where someone met him and was like, "Can you pretend like this banana is a gun?" And he just says, "This is a gun."
No, I haven't seen that, but I can imagine it in my head, and it's amusing.
They just take a picture with him with a banana in his hand, and she or he, I don't know who it was, is just like, "Can you pretend this banana is a gun?" He just says like, "This is a gun."
This is a gun. Oh my god, the fucking Harrison Ford memes.
You know,
Oh my
from
God.
everything we've already seen from the trailers, that's pretty much the extent of Red Hulk you're going to see in this movie. It's not a lot. It's something that they obviously build up to throughout the whole movie. And
Obviously.
Yeah.
it's sick. You know, the final battle between Red Hulk and Sam is sick.
Oh no, damn.
I mean, it's, I mean,
Hey,
I would.
Hey,
I
look,
would
okay.
define it as.
He couldn't
This is
ace
the
it.
first L of the video.
He couldn't ace it.
I
right?
would. I would. Well, the first L of this video is that the strap of his hood has been pulled away and isn't there anymore, which is odd. But the second L is that this take. I would describe the fight as sickly.
Sickly, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
a good way to put it.
diseased, you know, and it needs
That's
to
okay.
get medical treatment.
He's had a few W's, so I don't mind, you know.
Yeah, but you
There's
kind of get the
one
impression
L.
that the W's have all been stemming from the same motive as this criticism is, which is like the movie would have been better had we just had more of the action figures smashing against each other. Like we want to see more Captain America, not because he's an interesting character, but because he has a really cool suit, and when he gets to fight, it looks good. So we need more of him, please.
The way it's resolved isn't so sick. You know, it's kind of lame in my opinion.
It isn't so sick.
It's not peak fire,
It's not
I'm
so
afraid.
sick. Like it's not terminal, but you know,
It's like a cold, but
it's definitely something that you want to keep tabs on.
You mean he didn't like Sam Wilson telling Harrison Ford, "Hey man, the sun's getting really low."
Yeah, it was weird that part. Yeah. Acceptable.
No, he would look up to him and he'd check his watch and he'd be like, "Hey, big guy, it's 6:45.
Sun's getting.
You know,
up
it's getting there. It's still day, but like the street lights aren't on yet, but they will be soon. Depends on the season, really.
Mhm.
You want to turn into Harrison Ford again? Doesn't that sound fun? I'll give you some jelly."
Whoa.
Stuff is kind of cool. I can't lie. Again, this felt like it was supposed to be a Hulk movie that just shoehorned Sam as the lead, and I fully stand by that, bro. I don't want to feel like this, guys. I don't want to say these things. I don't want to make these types of videos.
Oh,
Man,
man.
welcome to our world.
Every day.
Welcome. I don't know.
This is-
Yeah, welcome to the reality of the situation. It's grim.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
this is-
bad.
This is what we call you haven't taken it yet, but you're licking that red pill. You're licking it. You're getting little tastes of the truth.
No,
You know,
it
Guy
is
is-
interesting, right? It's like he has, whether, as Platoon has mentioned, through the wrong sort of means, depending on like what exactly it is that he wanted from the film, he has like, he has gained a level of clarity here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's just that it's come really, really light, you know, compared to where it
liked
should
it.
be. But I mean, hey, I don't mind.
Hey,
Post Brave New World clarity, yeah.
you get those little whiffs of Gaia's vapors coming through the cracks, and you learn about.
That's a
You
good
learn
way of
about
putting
the way
it.
the
It
world
really
is.
is just the thing of where it's like it's plainly. Wait, were you talking about Gaia as in like the Greek, like for the Earth, or did you mean Amelia
Yes.
Clark?
Yeah, the oracles and
Yes,
Gaias and
after
the
you give
tombs
two
of the
options.
earth. Yeah. No. That
Yes.
that's what the oracles.
I
were
was saying it was more
Cracks in the
so.
earth.
I thought you meant
Gaia's
because
spirit,
Amelia
yeah.
Clark, because it's just something that's like.
No, I
plainly-
realized
everybody
kinda
looks
like-
at that and goes like, "Wow, that was
I
a bad
realized-
idea."
I realized halfway through, but like Gaia's vapors coming through the cracks in the MCU sense is like, oh, yeah, that she's ruined. I'm not gonna give her that kind of power.
I guess it's more
She's
so
got
just
enough
the idea
powers
of
as is.
seeing something that's patently absurd that you know will go nowhere. Like you just know that it's not going to go anywhere. We'll never see that character again. It's kind
Yeah.
of like the same deal here of just like you know that there's something wrong with this movie, and it's like impossible to ignore. There's nothing that you can latch onto. Not like, well, Sam Raimi's he's got those camera angles and all that there, or I'm trying to think of what the cope was for another recent Marvel movie. What was what was the cope? No, I don't want to leave this yet. What was the common line of cope for a recent Marvel movie?
Let me see.
When you say cope, you mean like a defense of its flaws, or do you mean just how everybody was linked on describing it?
Basically, akin to how something that
People would
helped
try and
Multiverse
defend
of
it.
Madness was that Sam Raimi directed it. The like him alone directing it, and there occasionally being an interesting shot.
Well, so like
Was something
it was said that
relied on
Chloe
to defend
Zhao
the
is
film.
is a real filmmaker for Eternals, if you remember.
Yeah, but the problem was that once the movie came out, like nobody really wanted to defend
That
it. Everybody kind of got on the
evaporated, yeah.
bandwagon. Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm talking about after the film came out.
Christian Bale was kind of highlighted as like
Oh, that's a good one.
A really amazing
Yeah.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
kinda-
That's a good example of the code.
yeah.
it's the only one I can think of, to be honest. The rest of them I haven't really seen anyone defend. Apart
You
from
get
Deadpool and
something like-
Wolverine, but
yeah,
Oh,
Deadpool
Deadpool
Wolverine would be
Wolverine,
the
yeah,
example.
it's a
Like,
fun
it's
movie.
funny, right?
That's
It's
right,
funny.
yeah.
It's not supposed to make sense. It's just supposed to be
it's
amusing. The jokes
important.
are good. The cameos were really great. I loved seeing Chris Evans. That was a funny thing.
Never quite
a good one,
understood
actually, yeah.
how Deadpool 3 is supposed to just be complete nonsense parody satire, lol, 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 even though loads of people who enjoy the film would pick all of its dramatic scenes and be like, they're excellent. Like Wolverine, all of Wolverine's like dramatic moments. And it's just like, well, but I thought it was a goofy nonsense, we're not supposed to take it seriously thing.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little lost on here. What's going on?
You guys know
people are pointing out that another one was with Quantumania, like Kang. Oh, he was so good. The performance was great.
Marvel has absolutely changed my life. I've grown up with this universe.
Wait, sorry, what?
With these
What did he say?
Marvel has changed his life.
Oh, okay.
Characters, and it is just... It just sucks that I have to sit here and say this, but at the end of the day, I have to be honest. And I'm sure Marvel is very much aware of the mistakes.
See, I don't think it was Captain Marvel being shockingly bad that's made him do this. It's all of the other ones plus it being bad. Like, this is just a gradual, I don't know.
There's only so many times that the film can come out and, like, you stop thinking about it and then you start sort of mulling over how it kind of isn't as cool as the old movies used to be, that it starts to hit, right? Feels like everybody got there eventually. It's just that it took a different amount of time for everybody to sort of arrive there. By the time Loki came out, we were done, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
For other people, it was like Thor: Love and Thunder was the big sort of like, fucking hell, these movies are sludge.
God,
the Marvel
Loki is sitting on some weird fucking
Quantumania.
throne right now. I just remember that. He's sitting on a
people
throne.
Are saying that season 2 is actually good when it's fucking awful.
I just remember that Loki is now sitting on some throne. Like a broken throne holding all the
that's right.
things.
He's the king of time, the god of stories or whatever.
Yeah, he wanted to be a king, but it's so tragic because not like that.
Yes, he's burning with glorious purpose.
Glorious purpose. Remember when he did the thing like 700 million times and he's the same character?
How are they going to incorporate him at all?
I don't know.
Will they? Even? Will they just sort of leave that as part of the TV universe?
He's a popular character, and the show did well. At least season 1 did.
I mean, Thor shouldn't it? I guess this is not. No, our Thor's Loki is dead, so he probably won't ask about this one.
Multiverse.
Multiverse. Yeah.
Will he save the entire multiverse? There'll be some like massive event in Secret Wars or whatever the Avengers film is, and then the resolution will be, okay, no, this is just wish fulfillment, but he'll be like, oh, well, I can save it all, but you'll never be able to cross over to any other universe ever again, and like the connections of the universes must end with me, and he will sacrifice himself, and everyone will be like, yeah, that's a lovely character moment. He has sacrificed himself for the good of all humanity, mankind, creatures everywhere, and he's also ended the multiverse saga, which is the best thing any character could ever do for storytelling. So
true.
That's my hope.
That they've made in terms of the way this film was made, because we all heard behind the scenes the amount of reshoots and the amount of just different changes and storylines that completely got cut out of this film during the course of its production. And when you watch the film, you can really see that come through. This feels like a film.
Oh my God.
You mean it's not seamless?
I don't understand this. How is this happening?
I was reliably informed that it was.
It seemed full. Oh, no.
It seemed full.
Shot to death. It feels like a film where sometimes you're watching scenes and I'm like, dude, I don't know if these actors were on set at the same time.
Me too.
It feels like a film where there's some scenes where I'm like, especially the post-credit scene, where I'm like, did they film this last week? Because that's how it feels.
He's so right.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm really glad.
No, I am very glad. This guy,
this is like uplifting to me in a sense. I'm not happy that he's sad, but like also that it's like it's
we can see it.
Veil is being lifted.
You can see the bullshit.
It's good that it's good that even in the case of somebody who's like very, very, very emotionally invested in this, that like there comes a point where even he starts to recognize that there's something wrong and that things need to change.
Yeah,
he's beginning to believe.
He's just 6 years late, is all.
Sure, I suppose
people will never get there.
Like, yeah, that's true. Some people won't get there, so he kind of does deserve points for that. I guess the interesting thing is that the kinds of movies that he would like to see would probably be the kinds of films that most people would want to see anyway. But maybe but then they'd be like better than what's happening right now. Like even if it is as simple as like I want to see the heroes, fight each other.
Well, Winter Soldier, like he's spoken highly of that in the past and here, and it's like I can see why people really like that movie, and it's got it's got good stuff in there, and it's way better than the kind of slop that we get, even though it has a lot of problems in and of itself. It's the kind of a movie with a lot of broad appeal that incorporates superheroes well, at least in concept. Far better than this stuff.
Well, and the momentum, right? I
Yeah.
feel like if this movie had come out in between Infinity War and Ragnarok, or whatever the fuck, wherever Captain Marvel was, then I feel like
Between
he
Endgame
probably would have been fine with it.
Probably.
'Cause,
Probably.
it's a
So he
real
was-
thing. It's the hype shields, the sort of sense that
train,
I'm into
yeah.
this. I can't wait to see what happens next. I can see all this potential. But when it's the reverse, and you're kind of hit the brakes, and you're like, what the fuck are we even doing? What?
I guess the sort of the point with even if it is that like the reasons why he would be interested, like the reality is that a lot of his favorite Marvel movies probably are like the better ones, and like he might not even be able to fully articulate exactly what makes those films good, but like it's kind of the nature of a lot of the good films will be very entertaining and appealing for the just the action scenes and all of that shit. But that like they were supported by actual character writing. Like the first Avengers is a good example, right? Like that's like a crowd-pleasing, entertaining movie, but it's a film that still has like a solid foundation for Steve. Even if you can't fully articulate what it is that you liked about it, you recognize it when it was there. And there's only so many times that like there can't be any character in it, that even if ostensibly the only thing you're interested in is seeing the heroes fight like as action figures, eventually you're going to recognize that something's missing.
You walked out of the theater after seeing the first Avenger and be like, oh, I really like this Steve Rogers guy. He's really cool. I want to see more of him. I'm looking forwards to seeing him meet other Avengers and other characters. Whereas when you walk out of movies like this, you're like, well, who I don't give a fuck about Sam Wilson talking to. Like, what, he's going to have a conversation with Ghost or something? Like, who cares? There's nothing to look forward to, and I didn't enjoy what I just had.
It's quite a state, but there's nothing stopping a film of even worse quality coming out next, and he loves it. Like it's a process for this fella. Okay, this is a blip in something, but it's an interesting blip, isn't it? Because I've seen some people saying like he hasn't said much. It's like no, but remember. This is the guy who's like peak fire bros, the hype. It's just kind of neat to see him say some stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that is something you can notice, you can pick up, and it's a big comparison.
But with that being said, man, I think there's still a lot of great stuff to look forward to when it comes to Marvel. Obviously, we have Daredevil Born Again coming out in March. That is a must-win for Marvel. That's you can mess up.
That one's gonna really make people upset.
If they fuck it beyond, like there's like a line. There's a line where we'll be annoyed, but generally people will be okay with it. I think
that's true.
If they can hit that, they'll be okay. But there's a line they can cross that'll piss everybody off, and if they do that,
I need to watch the Netflix.
Yes, you do.
Daredevil show finally.
Captain America: Brave New World. You cannot mess up Daredevil Born Again. You cannot mess up Fantastic Four. I'm also very keen on Thunderbolts. I thought all of the Thunderbolts trailers have looked really good, and that film actually has a lot of what this film is missing.
How can you know?
That? We don't know that.
I guess you go from the trailer. What is he about to say?
We're sliding into our bad habits. You can't let them win.
From the trailers, it looks actually funny. It looks like it also has a lot of heart to it too. And it looks like you're gonna buy it.
Like the reasoning is not quite that. I think that coming off the back of the experience with this movie, when half the shit from the trailers wasn't in the movie, it's really unwise to say that the trailers look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the character relationships and character dynamics that we're gonna see play out in that. So I am really optimistic about the Thunderbolts, but when it comes to Captain America: Brave New World, this was just a miss. This was not a great way to start off 2025 for Marvel. However,
correct.
The future is still very exciting. Onward and upward. We'll continue to cover it all. So let me know in the comment section down below. Drop your thoughts when you guys watch Captain America: Brave New World. Drop them in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you guys think when you guys watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
With that being said, make sure to like this video, comment down below, subscribe, hit that bell notification on my channel to get notified for future videos. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching this one. I love you guys 3000, and I'll see you guys next time.
Well, we're not acquaintances yet.
It's
I know of
strange.
you.
it's strange hearing him say that, like, oh, they can't afford to mess this one up. They can't afford to mess this one up. This one looks good. And then, like, to me, because I'm just looking at like the list of recent Marvel films and the ones that are coming up, the one that you cannot afford to mess up is Captain America: Brave New World.
So that's probably the one that I would peg as being maybe your most important, especially if you want to leverage his leadership of a supposed future Avengers. Whereas now we've gone from who even are the Avengers to who even is Captain America.